The detailed story of the rise and fall of the ancient Maya civilization. Opening. A lullaby from the jungle. Close your eyes, and let your mind drift through the emerald canopy of a tropical jungle, where the calls of howler monkeys echo and the scent of orchids lingers in the humid air. Picture yourself lying on a soft bed of moss, with starlight filtering through ancient ceiba trees, their branches whispering tales older than memory. Here in the heart of Mesoamerica, a magnificent story unfolded, the story of the Maya, a people who wove cities from stone, charted the stars, and danced with their gods, only to fade into the jungle's embrace like a dream. Let me tell you, this tale, slowly, gently, like a lullaby in the stillness of the night, will wander through the misty dawns of their beginnings, the radiant days of their towering pyramids, the quiet moments of a Maya family, and the shadowed hours when their cities grew silent. Relax, breathe deeply, and let this jungle dream carry you into a world where time hums with the rhythm of the cosmos. Part 1. The Dawn of the Maya. Origins and Early Days. Imagine a lush, green world around 2000 BCE, where the jungles of what is now Guatemala, Belize, southern Mexico, and parts of Honduras and El Salvador teem with life. Rivers snake through dense forests, their waters glinting under the sun, while limestone hills hide caves sacred to the gods. This is the cradle of the Maya, a people descended from ancient Mesoamerican farmers who learned to tame maize, beans, and squash. Their earliest villages are clusters of thatched huts with dirt floors and hearths where women grind corn on stone metates. Picture a young man, Kinich, standing at the edge of a milpa, a cleared patch of jungle, planting maize with a digging stick, his brow glistening with sweat as he prays to the rain god Chak for a bountiful harvest. In these early days, the Maya are simple farmers, but their minds are already reaching for the heavens. They watch the stars, noting the cycles of Venus and the moon, and carve wooden markers to track time. Their priests, clad in jaguar skin cloaks, burn copal incense in clay braziers, offering maize and blood to the gods in cave shrines. Imagine a priestess, Ixchel, standing in a torchlit cave, her hands stained with red ochre, chanting to the moon goddess as water drips from stalactites. The Maya believe the world rests on a cosmic turtle, swimming in a primordial sea, and their lives are bound to the gods who control rain, sun, and death. By 1000 BCE, villages like Cuello and Nakbe grow into small centers. Nakbe, in northern Guatemala, boasts the first stone platforms, precursors to the Great Pyramids. Picture Kinich, now a village elder, helping haul limestone blocks to build a low platform for a thatched temple. He wears a cotton loincloth and a necklace of jade beads, a gift from a trader who traveled from the highlands. His wife, Nea, weaves cotton cloth dyed with indigo, teaching their daughter, Yol, to spin thread. Their son, Balam, hunts deer. With a spear in the jungle, returning with meat for a feast where the family eats tamales, maize dough wrapped in banana leaves, and drinks balche, a fermented honey brew sacred to the gods. Around 400 BCE, the pre-classic period blooms. Cities, like El Mirador, rise, with massive pyramids piercing the jungle canopy. El Mirador's La Danta Pyramid, towering over 70 meters, is one of the largest structures in the ancient world. Imagine Kinich's descendants, now living in a bustling city, walking past stucco-masked temples painted red and yellow. Merchants trade obsidian blades, quetzal feathers, and cacao beans in open plazas, while scribes carve glyphs on stone, recording the deeds of early kings. The Maya develop a complex calendar system, the long count, Zolkin, and Hob, tracking time with precision unmatched in their era. Picture a scribe, with a reed pen and bark paper codex, calculating the next Venus cycle under a thatched roof, his eyes bright with reverence for the cosmos. The early Maya kings, known as Ajah, claim divine descent from the maize god. Imagine an Ajah named Chak Tok Ichak, standing atop a Nakbe pyramid, his headdress adorned with quetzal plumes, holding a jade scepter. He drinks cacao mixed with chili, a sacred drink, and leads rituals where priests pierce their tongues with stingray spines, offering blood to the gods. The people gather below, drumming on turtle shells and blowing conch horns, believing their king's blood ensures the rains come. But even in these early days, challenges loom. Deforestation from milpa farming strains the land, and rival cities like Tikal begin to vie for power, sowing seeds of conflict. Part 2. Everyday life in the classic Maya. World Imagine, you're part of a Maya family in the classic period, around 600 CE, when the Maya civilization shines at its peak. Your family lives in a small stone house near the great city of Tikal, in what is now Guatemala. The house has whitewashed walls, a thatched roof, and a courtyard where a cacao tree grows. Each dawn, as macaws screech in the jungle, the father, Kuk, rises, dons a cotton loincloth and a woven straw hat, and heads to his milpa. He plants maize, beans, and squash, singing to Chak for rain, his hands rough from years of wielding a digging stick. On market days, Kuk walks to Tikal's central plaza, carrying baskets of maize to trade for salt, obsidian, or a jade pendant. The mother, Ixna, grinds maize on a metate, her rhythmic scraping blending with the jungles. She teaches her daughter Yol Iknal 13 to make tortillas and atole, a maize porridge flavored with honey. Yol loves weaving, using a backstrap loom to create cloth with intricate patterns of red and blue, inspired by the feathered serpent, god Kukulkan. The son, Balaam, 16, trains as a scribe's apprentice, learning to carve glyphs on limestone with a flint tool. He studies under a priest in a temple school, memorizing star charts and reciting myths about the hero twins, Hunahpu and Exbalanque, who defeated the lords of the underworld. In the evenings, Balaam plays Pakatok, a sacred ball game on a stone court, aiming a rubber ball through a high hoop, his friends cheering as he dives. Meals are a time of bonding. The family sits on woven mats in the courtyard, eating tortillas, black beans, roasted squash, and occasionally turkey or deer, seasoned with chili and achiote. Ixna tells stories of the moon goddess Ixchel, while Kuk shares news from the market that King Jasauchankawilai is building a new pyramid in Tikal. Yol listens, dreaming of becoming a priestess, while Balaam asks about joining. The king's warriors. After eating, they pray before a small altar with a clay figurine of the maize god, burning copal incense to thank the gods for the harvest. Life is vibrant but demanding. Kuk labors long hours, and droughts sometimes threaten crops. Ixna worries about Yol's future, hoping she'll marry into a good family. Their house is modest, but many poorer Maya live in wattle and daub huts, while nobles dwell in multi-room palaces with painted murals. On festival days, the family dons their finest, Kok in a feathered cape, Ixna in a jade-beaded huipil, Yol and Balaam in dyed cotton, and joins processions to Tikal's great plaza. They watch priests climb the steps of Temple 1, offering cacao and quetzal feathers to the sun god Ki-Nich Ajah. Drummers pound, flutes wail, and the crowd chants, believing their rituals keep the cosmos in balance. Yol grips her mother's hand, awed by the pyramid's shadow, while Balaam imagines carving the king's victories on a stela. The classic Maya world is a mosaic of city-states, Tikal, Palenque, Copan, Calakmul, linked by trade and rivalry. Cities boast towering pyramids, like Palenque's Temple of the Inscriptions, and observatories for stargazing. Artisans craft jade masks, pottery with mythic scenes, and codices of deerskin or bark paper. Scribes record history, astronomy, and rituals in glyphs, one of the few fully developed writing systems in the ancient Americas. Picture a Palenque scribe, under a torch's flicker, painting a codex with the story of King Pakal's birth, his brush steady as he honors the gods. The Maya excel in mathematics, using a base 20 system and the concept of zero, and their calendars predict eclipses with uncanny accuracy. But this brilliance comes at a cost. Kings wage wars to capture prisoners for sacrifice, believing blood feeds the gods. Imagine Cook, standing in Tikal's plaza, watching a rival warrior bound and led to a pyramid summit, his heart heavy as priests raise an obsidian knife. Deforestation and soil erosion strain agriculture, and droughts, possibly linked to climate shifts, test the Maya's resilience. Yet their faith in the gods and their kings holds firm, for now. Part 3. The Zenith of Maya Culture. Kings, Priests, and Cosmic Order. The classic period, from 250 to 900 CE, is the Maya's golden age, when city-states like Tikal, Palenque, and Copan reach their cultural and political heights. Imagine Tikal in 700 CE, its skyline of pyramids piercing the jungle, their stucco facades painted red, blue, and yellow. The great plaza bustles with nobles in jaguar pelts, merchants trading cacao, and priests carrying incense. At the heart stands Temple Wapien, built by King Jasaw Chun Kawil Artrin, its 9 terraces symbolizing the underworld's layers. Picture the king, his headdress a cascade of quetzal feathers, standing atop the temple, holding a scepter carved with the face of Kawil, the god of lightning. He drinks cacao from a painted cup, his eyes fixed on the horizon, believing his rule aligns the earth with the stars. Jasachan Kawil Hai, who ruled Tikal from 682 to 734, is a warrior and visionary. Imagine him, with a stern face and jade ear spools, in a palace chamber, consulting astronomers about Venus's cycle, crucial for timing wars. He eats sparingly, tortillas, avocado, and cacao, saving lavish feasts for rituals. His wife, Lady Tsakbu Ejo, manages the palace, weaving sacred textiles and advising on alliances. In 695, Jasaw defeats Calakmul, Tikal's rival, capturing its king and sacrificing him atop a pyramid. Picture the ceremony. Drums thunder, conch horns blare, and the crowd chants as blood is offered to the gods, ensuring cosmic harmony. Jasaw commissions stelae, tall stone slabs, carved with his victories, their glyphs glowing under torchlight. Balam, now a skilled scribe, helps carve one, his hands trembling with pride. In Palenque, King Kayinich Janab Pakal Furens, who ruled from 615 to 683, leaves an indelible mark. Imagine Pakal, a frail boy crowned at 12, growing into a revered leader, his long nose and high forehead depicted in jade masks. He lives in a palace with vaulted ceilings and murals of the Popol Vuh, the Maya creation myth. Each morning Pakal prays before an altar to the sun god, burning maize and his own blood, drawn with a stingray spine. He eats tamales and drinks cacao, sharing meals with his wife, Lady Tsakbu, and their sons. Pakal builds the Temple of the Inscriptions, a pyramid housing his tomb, its sarcophagus lid carved with his ascent to the heavens. Picture priests sealing the tomb in 683, chanting as they place jade beads and a pearl in Pakal's hands, believing he joins the maize god in Xibalba, the underworld. Copan, in modern Honduras, flourishes under King Uwactaclayun Ubaa Ka'awil, known as 18 Rabbit, who ruled from 695 to 738. Imagine 18 Rabbit with a jaguar headdress and obsidian earplugs, standing on Copan's hieroglyphic stairway, a 62-step monument recording the city's history. He sponsors artists who carve stelae with flowing glyphs, depicting him as a divine intermediary. 18. Rabbit hosts ball games, betting jade and feathers, and sacrifices prisoners to the gods. But in 738, he is captured and beheaded by a rival city, Quirigua, a blow to Copan's prestige. Picture Yol, now a young woman in Copan's plaza, weeping as news of 18 Rabbit's death spreads, her faith in the gods shaken. Religion permeates Maya life. Priests, trained from childhood, read codices and star charts, advising kings on ritual dates. Imagine a priest in Tikal with a jaguar cloak and face painted black, climbing Temple 4 at dawn to greet Venus's rising, his chants echoing over the jungle. The Maya believe in a cyclical universe, with worlds created and destroyed by gods. Bloodletting, piercing tongues, ears, or genitals, is a sacred act. Feeding deities like Itzamna and Kukulkan. Picture Ixna, now a grandmother, joining a ritual, offering a drop of her blood on bark paper burned in a censer, her heart steady with devotion. The Maya's intellectual achievements are staggering. Astronomers predict eclipses and track the 260-day Tzolk'in cycle, aligning rituals with celestial events. Mathematicians use a vigesimal system, with place value notation and zero, to calculate vast time spans. Scribes produce codices, though most will later be destroyed by Spanish conquerors. Artisans create pottery with scenes of gods and kings, and jade jewelry symbolizing life and eternity. Picture Balaam, now a master scribe, painting a codex with the story of the hero twins, his brush tracing their journey through Xibalba, his work a bridge to immortality. But cracks appear. Wars between city-states intensify, draining resources. Deforestation from milpa farming and lime plaster production degrades soil. Droughts, possibly exacerbated by climate change, strike the lowlands. Drying cenotes, sacred sinkholes that supply water. Imagine Kuk, now elderly, standing in his wilted milpa, praying to Chak as clouds pass without rain. The gods seem distant, and whispers of unrest grow in Tikal's plazas. Part 4. The Decline and the Silent Cities. By the 8th century, the Maya classic period begins to wane, a slow unraveling that scholars still debate. Imagine Tikal in 800 CE, its pyramids still grand, but less vibrant, with fewer feasts and quieter markets. The jungle creeps closer, vines curling over stone steps. The family of Kuk, now led by his grandson, Chak, struggles to survive. Chak, a farmer, labors in a shrinking milpa, his harvests meager as droughts persist. His wife, Ixyol, grinds maize with worry, rationing tortillas for their children, Na and Kinich. Na, 14, weaves cloth but dreams of the days when Tikal's nobles bought her patterns. Kinich, 17, trains as a warrior, hoping to defend the city, but the army is stretched thin. The decline is complex, driven by multiple forces. Droughts, confirmed by sediment studies from Lake Chichancanab, devastate agriculture. Imagine Chak standing by a cenote, its water level dangerously low, tossing in a jade bead as an offering, his voice hoarse from prayers. Overpopulation strains resources. Some cities, like Tikal, may have housed 100,000 people, demanding vast maize fields. Deforestation reduces rainfall and erodes soil, making milpas less productive. Picture Ixyol walking past barren fields, her heart sinking as she sees cracked earth where maize once grew. Warfare escalates as city-states like Calakmul and Tikal vie for dominance. Kings demand more captives for sacrifice, believing blood will appease angry gods. Imagine Kinich in a Tikal war party, clad in cotton armor and wielding an obsidian-tipped spear. His stomach knotted as he faces Calakmul's warriors. He survives but returns to a city where stelae grow rare, as kings lack resources to commission them. Trade networks falter, with fewer caravans bringing jade or quetzal feathers. Picture Naya in Tikal's market bartering her last cloth for a handful of cacao beans, her eyes scanning empty stalls. Social unrest brews. Commoners, like Chak's family, tire of laboring for nobles who live in palaces while they starve. Imagine Chak in Tikal's plaza, hearing whispers of rebellion as farmers refuse to haul limestone for a new temple. Some abandon cities, returning to villages or migrating north to Chichen Itza or Mayapan, where new centers rise in the post-classic period. Picture Yol, packing a basket with tortillas and jade beads, leading Na and Kinich through the jungle, seeking a better life, their footsteps soft on ancient paths. Religion, once unifying, becomes strained. Priests urge more sacrifices, but the gods seem silent. Imagine a Tikal priest, his face painted red, climbing Temple 4, offering a noble's blood, yet no rain falls. Some Maya turn to new cults, like that of Kukulkan, blending traditional gods with influences from central Mexico's Toltecs. Picture Na, in a small shrine, praying to Kukulkan's feathered serpent, hoping for salvation. Christianity is still centuries away, but the Maya's spiritual world is shifting, reflecting their uncertainty. By 900 CE, many southern lowland cities, Tikal, Palenque, Copan, are largely abandoned. Pyramids stand empty, their stucco peeling as the jungle reclaims. Plazas. Imagine Chak, now old, sitting in a deserted Tikal courtyard, telling Na and Kinich of King Jasaw's triumphs, his voice faint against the hum of cicadas. The collapse is not total. Northern cities like Chichen Itza thrive in the post-classic period, 900–1500 CE, with new architectural styles like the stepped pyramids of the Puch region. But the classic Maya's grandeur fades, its cities becoming ghost towns. Part 5. The Post-Classic and the Arrival of the Spanish. Imagine the Maya world in 1200 CE, transformed yet enduring. In the northern Yucatan, Chichen Itza and Mayapan rise as powerful centers. Chichen Itza's El Castillo, a stepped pyramid dedicated to Kukulkan, draws pilgrims who watch the equinox shadow form a serpent slithering down its steps. Picture Kinich's descendant, Balam, a merchant in Chichen Itza, trading cacao and turquoise in a bustling market. His wife, Ixna, runs a household, teaching their daughter Yol to weave patterns inspired by Toltec motifs. Their son, Chak, plays Pocatawk on a grand court, dreaming of glory. Life in the post-classic is dynamic but precarious. City-states form alliances, like the League of Mayapan, but rivalries persist. Imagine Balam, negotiating with a Mayapan, noble offering jade for salt, his words careful to avoid sparking conflict. Droughts continue and cenotes remain vital. Picture Ixna'a by Chichen Itza's sacred cenote, tossing in a pottery offering, praying for rain. The Maya maintain their calendars and glyphs, but codices grow rarer as bark paper is scarce. Religion evolves with Kukulkan worship prominent and human sacrifice increases, especially at Chichen Itza's cenote. where victims are thrown. To appease Chak by the 15th century, Mayapan declines, fractured by internal strife. Smaller states like the Itza of Tayasal persist in the jungles. Imagine Chak, now a young warrior in Tayasal, guarding a lakeside city, his spear ready as rival Maya raid for captives. The Maya remain resilient, their culture vibrant, with oral traditions preserving the Popol Vuh and star charts guiding priests. In 1519, the Spanish arrive, led by Hernán Cortés. Imagine Balam, in a coastal village, seeing strange ships with white sails, men in metal armor stepping ashore. The Maya resist, but smallpox brought by Europeans devastates them, killing millions. Picture Ixtnea nursing Yol through fever, her prayers to Ixchel unanswered as the disease spreads. By 1546, the Spanish conquer much of the Yucatan, imposing Christianity and burning codices. Imagine Chak, hiding a codex in a cave, his heart breaking as priests destroy his ancestors' knowledge. The Itza hold out until 1697, when Tayasal falls, ending Maya independence. The conquest is a shattering blow, but the Maya endure. Picture Yol, now an old woman in a colonial village, teaching her grandchildren the Popol Vuh in secret, her voice soft under a ceiba tree. She wears a Spanish-style dress but keeps a jade bead, whispering of Tikal's pyramids. The jungle hides ancient cities, their stones silent but unbroken, waiting to be rediscovered. Closing. The Eternal Jungle. Dream return to the jungle, where the story began. The ceiba trees still sway, and starlight still dances through their leaves. The Maya rose, radiant as the morning star, and faded into the jungle's embrace, like a dream. But their legacy, from stone pyramids to Yol's whispered tales, from Pakal's tomb to the maize fields of Chak, lives on. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let this story lull you to sleep. Good night, with the Maya's eternal dreams by your side.